Disclaimer: violence is never okay. I don't believe in hell. I do, however, believe there are real spiritual consequences to hate and hateful words. Let's get to video.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it.
Okay. So I wanted to welcome you all here to the Sunday story time. I had a story lined up that I wanted to discuss, but because of recent events, I felt compelled to speak out against Christian nationalism. For one, I believe Christian nationalism has little to do with the actual teachings and examples of Jesus Christ. But then I remembered my own spiritual teachings. So I'm going to take a step back and look at the reason and go over and teach you guys the reason why we're here in this big playground that we call life, and use the Charlie Kirk example to teach a life lesson, which I think we all should learn from these events that have happened recently. Suffice to say, we have all been given free will to agree or disagree with each other, and even be in conflict with each other. Why would God allow conflict to continue? Because there's a lot of juicy lessons to learn in conflict. In fact, one could say that we're encouraged to stand up for our beliefs and engage in conflict. It's not for the purpose of division. It's actually we create division on our own. But God allows us to be in conflict with each other so that we may overcome our insecurities. We overcome our fears so that we can meet each other in harmony, that much more impactful. Okay? So, to the Charlie Kirk issue, and more, I guess, more broadly, the Christian nationalism concern. There's some interesting spiritual and metaphysical phenomenons happening here that would seem to be counterintuitive of what's going on. But once you look under the hood and I explain what's going on, you're going to see, you're going to have a little bit more insight of what's happening under the hood here. So to start out, what's happening spiritually? Let's say, to fight against someone or something that you, in actuality, what you're actually doing is giving power to the person that you're trying to fight against. Okay? What have you, whether it's anti-Trumper, anti-woke, anti-gay, anti-liberal, anti-far right, and so on. Pick your poison. Insert word here. Again, I'm against whatever. In the law of attraction, what you put out is what you get back. You see what's going on there? Garbage in, garbage out. Or in other words, you say garbage out, garbage back in. So, let me give you an example. If I am anti-gun, and I want nothing to do with guns, no guns, no guns, all the universe is going to get from me is if I'm just continually railing against anti-gun, no guns, no guns, no guns. All the universe is getting from me is guns, guns, guns. And all I'm going to do is just get more guns. You see what I'm saying? If I'm holding to the idea, the fear of guns at heart, and I'm continually in conflict with guns, that energy that I'm putting out is only feeding into that narrative that I don't want. So it sounds like a paradox. But in actuality, the nature of life, the law of attraction, would state that I would just get more of what I'm putting out. Even though I don't want guns, but because I'm still there in a state of I don't want guns, all I'm going to do is get guns. So the rule of thumb here, knowing about the law of attraction, is at work here. Stop railing against XYZ. What are you railing against? What is something out there that you are an activist against? And ask yourself the question, should I continually be feeding into that narrative by being anti whatever? Let's see what nature and science has to say about it. According to science, two particles that vibrate in sync with each other transfer energy efficiently. Think of it as a boat on a standing wave. If you have a standing wave, that means a wave is even, it crests and dips and does so in a predictable manner that can be measured. And so the boat can efficiently cross from one place to the next easily. In the opposite, though, if two particles are not in vibrational sync, they cannot transfer energy between each other. So in this case, the boat can't go anywhere because the other place doesn't exist anymore. They're out of phase with each other, in other words. The universe is sound-based, right? Everything is both a particle and a wave, vibrating at various frequencies and amplitudes. Your body, the chairs that you sit on, the tables that you put stuff on, the very ground that you walk on, are molecules and atoms vibrating at certain frequencies in order to create matter. Thoughts also have sound. They have a vibration. In fact, thoughts have the power to alter the very vibration of your body, and thereby the whole vibrational environment around you. So whatever it is that you're attuned to in vibration, frequency, is what you're going to be attracting to you, to yourself. So therein lies knowing this, knowing that the law of attraction is that you're going to get what you're putting out. When you apply it, the application to activism, the rule of thumb is not to rail against. Stop railing against and start advocating for what you actually want. So, Uncle James, how do I become an activist for what I want and to affect political change? Okay, let me give you an example. Instead of, let's say you are anti-atheist, for example, you don't believe the atheists, and you want to be an activist in this case. Instead of being the atheists are this, the atheists are that, atheists are evil, atheists, blah, 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 whatever. It's always about atheists. Let's say you're the other side. Let's say you're anti-Christian and you want to stop the Christians and you don't like the Christians and you're anti-Christianity, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. Conversely, what you need to do is stop being anti whatever it is that you don't want. Start being pro whatever it is that you do want. So if you are a Christian and are anti-whatever, anti-atheist, anti-non-believers, whatever the case may be, stop advocating, stop actively being against something and just be pro-Christian. Spread the gospel, spread the news of Christianity, follow the examples of Jesus Christ rather than continually focusing on what somebody else is doing. And you'll find the whole world will be a whole different place. Let me give you another example by further breaking this down. Let's say I am anti-orange. I just hate the color orange. And I keep railing against the color orange. Orange is the new evil. Orange is of the devil. Orange is crap. And I just keep telling the universe about orange. And all I'm going to get from the universe is orange, orange, orange. But if I like the color blue and would rather have blue, then what I need to be doing is saying, I like blue. Blue is calming. Blue means ice. Blue is sweet. Blue makes me feel good. Blue is cool, nice and cool. You see what's happening here? Now I'm saying blue, blue, blue. The universe says blue, blue, blue. Be an activist for what it is that you want, not what it is that you don't want. To the point of Charlie Kirk. He railed against a great many things, thereby only feeding into those narratives. It happens all the time. You see it all the time with a great many preachers, online television, evangelists, preachers from all different denominations. They're continually speaking out against XYZ that's happening in the world. I guarantee you, though, Charlie Kirk benefited in many ways from the hatred and vitriol and all the social media rhetoric against him. Which is probably why he got so big, is because all that energy from all those people, oh, Charlie Kirk said this, Charlie Kirk said that, oh, do you believe he's this, da, 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 da. And guess what? Charlie Kirk just became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So much so that he was pivotal in electing our current president. You give power to other people when you rail against them. Stop giving other people your power. And to the point of Christian nationalism, the movement rails against and continues to be in conflict with the rest of the world in other worldviews, only to serve and feed into those other worldviews because they're all in conflict with Christian nationalism. Eventually, that could lead to its own demise. Instead, if you're a Christian, and as I mentioned, then be pro-Christian. Ignore everybody else, what everybody else is doing, and focus on, again, the teachings and example of Jesus Christ. It's not being anti-whatever, it's, being pro what it is that you want to affect the change that you want. But in this world that we live in, because we all live for the drama sometimes, being anti-whatever or not being anti-whatever doesn't get the likes and subscribes. It doesn't get the clicks, it doesn't get as many views and stuff like that. But we see what happened to Charlie Kirk in the end. He railed against whatever it was, and it ended up to his own demise. So it's also a cautionary tale to be careful of what it is that you're railing against, so that you don't feed into it, that it becomes so big that you remove yourself and your own agenda. The first step, what is the first step then in turning around and turning that ship around? If you're going down that road of activism against, and you've built your whole life around it, we're so used to being anti whatever. It's literally ingrained in our culture now. We're so conditioned to be anti instead of pro. And the first step in turning around is letting go. Right? Ignore and let go. Indifference. Indifference is a very powerful tool. One of which is that I teach in different techniques in order to manifest and in order to heal. Letting go is a powerful tool, one that's going to really change your life. And if you're an activist, letting go of the opposite of what you don't want is first key then to obtaining what it is that you're trying to actively be pro for. So stop stop focusing on the anti and focus on the pro. Focus on what it is that you want. Direct your attention and focus to the things that you want. Okay, this is the lesson that needs to be learned when we're talking about the incident with Charlie Kirk, the issue of Christian nationalism, and anybody else out there who has, they're an activist for something. There's a gift for you. There's the how to do it based on the law of attraction is to focus on what it is that you want and not what it is you don't want. Okay. In any event, I hope you found this insightful through this Sunday story time. I have been Uncle James, your wandering agnostic teacher and messenger. If you found this insightful, please subscribe and like and subscribe. And check out some of my other videos that I hope you find as informative as well. But as I always say, it's a pickle, no doubt about it. I have no physical, verifiable proof of anything that I say is true. But neither does anyone else. And it's all up to you, whether you're going to accept what I have to say or not. You're just going to have to make up your own damn minds.